morning. Welcome to EUC Learn Along. What do we got today? Well, in the last video, we looked at enrollment restrictions and compliance. Video kind of drew on there at the end, or took longer than expected for the devices to show non-compliant. Anyhow, that worked out, posted that in the blog. But now it's compliant because we're going to be looking at another piece for enrollment. Since we got personal devices blocked, let's verify that because I've been messing around here in this lab. As you can see, we're moved back to Hyper-V. Well, you gonna take some time. There we go. Still using the default policy. Yes, we are blocked. All right, so let's verify. All right, so I got two 111 boxes. As you can see, I got a personal 111 and I got a one called Autopilot V2. So it all kind of ties together. All right, so now that we are blocking personally owned devices, there is a key component that we need to allow our corporate workers or corporate devices that we, have our users buy. Was it BYOD, bring your own device type situation? And that's what we're going to look at. All right, I probably should have logged into that yesterday. Anyhow, happy belated 4th. Yeah, forgot. That was fun. All right, so yeah, again, we went back to Hyper-V. I was having an issue with certain pieces, which I'll go over in just a second. So yeah, using Hyper-V for this piece and may just stick with that for a little while. All right, so we are blocking compliance. We did edit the policy and we lowered the version of Windows, and that's about all we did. All right, so we're logged in. I'd like to turn off taskbar settings. Hide. I think we're good. All right, and again, we'll use the company portal, which we don't have to use to register the device, enroll it, but we're just going to keep everything the same. And there are some there are some OS limitations for this, but I think we're at a point now where you should be on some of these later versions to where that should not be an issue. But if you're not, then I'll post the link in the vlog post or blog post, whatever you want to call it. All right, so again, we're going to use company portal instead of using the account settings. Ooh, look at that download speed. Maybe we should do it through account. Oh, it's sped up. Great. Enrollment. All right, open. All right, so we saw it with Win10. Again, we were messing with Win10 just to kind of satisfy the compliance policy that we had. Just the easy one to do was the OS versioning. So we meet compliance, but we have, again, stuff blocked. I am not a enrollment manager for the account I'm using. I'm going to use my user account. As we saw in the last video, that enrollment managers can bypass some pieces. All right, there's our little page. And yes. And we should get a generic error like we did with Win 10. And there's our message. All right, so this one's a little bit less generic. The mobile device server doesn't, kind of gobbledygook, support this platform version. Consider upgrading your device. All right, so again, the message really isn't indicative of it being a personal device, but this did say platform restriction here, supported this platform, so maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know. So let's account for that and fix it. So this, again, is a personal device, and we want this fixed. Yes, I see you. So I need to get the script. USB scripts, Intune, identifiers, corporate identifiers. So I got two scripts. I got one to just get a CSV, kind of like we did with the older autopilot video, I believe. And you can do it to where you can just talk to your tenant using a graph. So yeah, we're not going to use graph. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. I don't think I have a temp directory here, but this should be good. All right, so we got our file. We got our identifier. If we open that up, we got our, here we go, corporate identifiers. We got our manufacturer, model, and serial number. And we need to import this into our tenant. Box, USB. So this is a, so I've already done it for our Autopilot V2 device. Just to speed things up. So let's get this in here. Devices. Enrollment. And yeah, this is our key piece. So with old Autopilot, we had to use the hardware hash, import that in there. But with this is kind of two things you can accomplish. So we're going to get the personally owned device, even though it's not ran through Autopilot, to register with our tenant. There's use cases out there for that, and then we'll look at the provisioning piece. All right, let's do the Windows only. All right, so I was getting errors here. I did correct the errors using VMware, but VMware had a lot of extra commas in it. for the platform and I think the manufacturer. And it just didn't like anything I was doing. So instead of Googling and figuring out, I just easily swapped to Hyper-V because I don't have those issues. So as we saw, just nice string of characters, no extra commas, none of that stuff in there. All right, so we got two machines in here. All right, we got the date added. We got the, yep, so this is our new device. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so we're gonna come back over here. I don't think I need you anymore. All right, I think we're good. All right, and let's try to sign in again. Let's see how instant this is. OneMicrosoft.com. Let's open the settings and see if that account is there. I think we saw issues before when we tried to do this. We had to remove the account. All right, nothing's there. Yes. Oh, I see things happening. Looky there. All right, so this has got to go through its checks and balances. We'll let that take its time to get properly enrolled, but pretty sure we're good. We'll come back and check on it. So again, we got compliance for, after enrollment. All we got set is the Windows OS version. There's a lot of other ways you can set it. Again, let's look at that. Properties. Oh, those are actions. I don't want the actions. Here we go. Compliance settings. Yeah, we got Defender. We got stuff we can set passwords. And I believe after it goes through this little piece and it's not compliant, it will tell you in here what you need to meet compliance. Need to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure. BitLocker, Secure Boot. But yeah. All right, so we'll let that sit. We prove that we can enroll a device, even though we are blocking personal devices. This is our way to identify those devices. I feel like I just said a whole bunch of BS. It just poured out my mouth. Anyhow, you see what I'm talking about. All right, so let's look at, again, we're not going to go through the whole autopilot piece. Maybe we'll do a different video on that. But it was just a few pieces because it kind of all ties together. So now that we can properly enroll personal devices, that's kind of when you want to use Autopilot version 2, V2, whatever they want to call it, because that's what it's for. It's for you know, you get a budget, you go buy your own PC or you use your personal PC, you know, whatever. So it was just a few things to set up. So we needed a policy, which I've created. If we just kind of look at it, it's pretty straightforward. Got the name, device group. There's a little bit more detail to that, and we'll look at that. We got some settings that we can set. You got the deployment setting, which we can change. This is again for enter join, set the user account to admin or standard, out of box experience, scripts. I got 2 apps. Oh, and it's compliant. Yay! Look at you. Sure. And we'll go back. Don't have any scope tags, so it just got the default and then the assignment for all users. So this assignment is a user assignment. Yes. Key piece. Because Intune's not going to know the device. So user assignment for what we're looking for. Let's go to groups. All groups. And the device group is nothing crazy. It's just a static security group, but you need to make the owner or set it to Intune provisioning client. So I think it's changed a few times. I've looked at some older videos and KBs. But if you type in Intune, when you go to add the piece, you just need to make sure that this SID matches up. So if you're just going off old videos, I think some of them tell you to point to this confidential client or whatever. But if you look at the SID, Microsoft has in their KB and even the KB now, you need this one. So, all right, we beat that dead horse. All right, so make sure I didn't change anything. Owners. All right, we're good to go. And then I created, so we got the policy, the deployment policy, we got the group that was needed. I think all else I created was a enrollment stats page. Oh, I didn't create it. So I just used the default since it's already scoped all users and devices. And but that shouldn't affect what we're doing. So I can probably get rid of that. Oh, and look how quickly we got our little backdrop. Our apps are pushing. This thing works fast. Cool. So we're done with you. Let's look at this one. So again, you were given a stipend. Or you're using your personal device. As we saw in the other one, you can just enroll. But say you want to use, company purchase device. That's, still personal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. So we went to out of box. Again, we can't control these settings using that version of Autopilot versus the other one, which is more device targeted. And this one's more user driven. So users have to choose their country. Yeah, keyboard, skip. They should be able to do this. Just some reading, some settings. Oh my goodness. children were trying to call me. All right, and we get a sign-in option. All right, so we are using a evaluation version of 111 Enterprise ISO. So if we hit sign-in options, we can do domain join, which will not worry about the sign-in screen that just came up, or we can use sign-in with the passkey. But since this is what kind of Microsoft's moving to, all right, users will need to put in their corporate email. Microsoft.com. All right. So with regular autopilot, we already got our branding and stuff set up as this. You know, it does not know it's our device yet. So this is just all Microsoft. All right, we'll hit next. We'll redirect us. There we go. To our custom page. And now let's see what happens. Go to this group. Then booth. All right, so we already have this hardware hash put in. I did kind of skip that piece because we did it on the other one. But on this one, you can just do Shift F10 and get that info back. So not hard to do, and we've seen that. Refresh. Okay, so installing that management extension. Just like we've seen with regular autopilot. It's kind of one of the first things it does. One thing to note is this is a device group, but I don't have anything assigned to this device group. What I mean is I don't have it assigned to any policies or any apps. It's just there for this to be a bucket for these devices to get dumped into. So yeah, so we shouldn't see a whole lot happen. This is more of just kind of going through the process, but probably need to get this assigned to some configuration policies and a bunch of other stuff with the way I have our stuff scoped. Do I have it assigned to all devices? I might. Let's look at that. Yeah, I got some errors. We had some 110. Oh, so I do get it assigned to all devices. Okay, so we're good. Probably need to map this out so we don't get scared. Apps. I think I have apps set to all users. Yeah, so I take that back. We will be getting some stuff because I used all users and all devices. All right, installing required apps and policies for your organization. Well, I think we have that defined in here in our policy. Settings. And let's look at that. Let's see. Shift F10. Let's do control panel. Let's see what you're installing. Alright, so we know what that is. I want to look at my devices or my groups. No members yet. Yes. Take your time. There's a lot going on. Pretty sure it's one of these. BC. This one right here. Okay. There we go. So it finally populated in there. It's still doing its thing. So it did our branding. What am I doing? I think that's assigned to all devices. Yep. So it's making me kind of curious. Workspace app, all devices. Kind of curious about this piece. Well, let me read it. Select up to 10 apps you want to reference with this deployment. These apps should be assigned to the device security group. Well, I didn't do that, but it seems that it's installing these apps anyway with the branding piece showing. Select up to 10 managed apps you want to reference with this deployment. These apps should be assigned to device security group you selected earlier. That is untrue. So I didn't do that piece. So wonder if it's probably the way I got it set up. Since it's not assigned to anything, it's just getting, like it says, all required apps. Okay. So I guess that makes sense of why we're getting everything. Oh well, that's on me. So as we saw with other autopilot pieces, where was that? We could edit this. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Here, in the enrollment status page. So same kind of principle applied. You have to make sure that actual devices are assigned to these apps, but you can limit it through here. So if you got 12 required apps for all devices as the scope, only these 3 will install during the enrollment status page. The rest will be installed post status page. There we go. Piecing it together. We got some devices in here. We got our 110. We got our 2 111. All right, had to do a little reboot. Pretty sure we're getting all the apps. We'll let this progress just a little bit more and then we'll call it. I just want to see the apps piece. Setting this up is new to me and I did make a boo-boo, so I do like to see the issues that come up when you make little boo-boos. That's when you learn. I do like the little percentage, so instead of just waiting without knowing how much longer, now we know. Excuse me. Come on, just give me. Let me see an app in here. I already know we got the Brandon. Just give me something. Give me something. Required setup is complete. Okay. All right, so looks like the user still is faced with some settings. Probably just have them leave that alone and hit accept. It's good. Let's check for Windows updates before I log in. Let's get secure. Was that a required app? Oh, set to available. Cheez-Its. This one's required. Excuse me. Well, we won't wait on this because I didn't really want to go through the autopilot piece till I got it dialed in. But again, just looking at enrollment and what we can do to protect ourselves in Intune is we got the platform/enrollment restrictions, blocking personal devices. We have some type of compliance policy if we allow those devices to enroll, which we do. And we got our retired list here that have it set to go to. And then we have these identifiers to allow such devices to access company resources. So tying it all together, and we have yet to do a conditional access policy. All right. So user at 1. Okay, we got our branding. That wasn't too bad. Need to fix it though. And test it out with the device group assigned to those other pieces. Windows configuration restrictions. Is that set to all devices? Yep. So we should have some restrictions with. Yeah. One last test. I just want to know. Guess we got Hyper-V back up. I guess I could set up my lab kit. We can do some hybrid join stuff. That sounds like fun. And set up some Intune connector servers, and we can do some certificates. Do all kinds of cool things. Let's look at. So it is compliant. Forgot what device it was. I think it was BC. Seven 236. Is that right? Yeah, I guess using UTC. All right, so it's there. Looks like the bloatware is good. So our script ran. The policies are applied for device restrictions. Just the applications. Because I did not set that right. but no big deal. I know how to fix it. But those should be coming down pretty quickly. And the portal is not on here, but should get it. Anyhow, cool stuff. Again, tying it all together with compliance, enrollment, and then how to mark your devices to allow such devices to access your resources. Anyhow, hope you learned something.